guys, it's Xee and Cyn, and we're back with another video. Today we are reacting to New York City versus London city comparisons.
Okay.
And we got this from the infographic show. The link will be in the description below. Please show them some love. You're laughing at me.
Guys, she's racing. Every time she starts a video,
happening.
she's nervous as can be. I don't get that.
I'll warm up eventually, little by little. It's almost a year, but...
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into it. New York City versus London. Our newfound home that we're going to live. London. Oh, she said, I'm telling a lie. Why you do that to me? Why you do me that? She's like, really?
I can't tell.
She just name herself now. Listen, don't do that. Or let me fix it up. My new home that I'm about to live at with my kids. Cyn can come visit when she feel like. Let's get into this video. Here we go, guys. Don't forget the link will be in the description below. Go over and show them some love. Here we go.
According to Travel and Leisure magazine, the best city in the world right now you could visit is San Miguel de Allende in Mexico, followed by Charleston in the USA, followed by Chiang Mai in Thailand.
That's an interesting list. That's like a very interesting list. I'm not gonna lie, because I was not expecting those places to be listed.
But he said to visit, don't you?
Yeah, to
not
visit.
To live.
Yeah, that he listed to visit.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's
you're right. You
don't
normally hear people talk about those
you hear
places.
Paris, London,
yeah,
New York. You don't hear Charleston. Sorry.
And New Mexico.
And
Who go to New Mexico? My bad. I'm just asking.
They go to I forgot what it's called. Yeah, that's the most popular print.
Isn't that in Mexico?
It is.
Not New Mexico.
No, not New Mexico. It's in Mexico.
So why you saying Cancun? Why you say New Mexico? Did he say New Mexico or Mexico? Let's continue.
These three places, however, don't even get on the top 20 places to actually live in this year's Quality of Living Index, a yearly list compiled by HR firm Mercer. Apparently, if you want to live the good life, you should move to Vienna, Austria, Zurich, Switzerland, or Auckland, New Zealand. The top 20 list doesn't include any cities from the UK or the USA, two countries that have arguably been the two heavyweights in the last century regarding power and wealth. These two countries, however, contain cities that attract millions of overseas visitors every year. Today, we are going to compare them in this episode of the infographic show, New York City versus London. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. The cities are two of the...
Okay, guys, I know we just started, but you notice what he said? These two cities, people is not living in them, you know. They're millions of visitors.
Millions.
How crazy is that? They don't want to live there. They just want to explore it and go about their business.
The most visited places in the entire world. In 2016, though, the most visited city in the world by international travelers was Thailand's capital, Bangkok. 21.47 million people visited Bangkok that year. In second place was London with 19.88 million visitors, and in third place was Paris with 18.03 million visitors. The most visited US city was New York City, and that was in fifth place with 12.75 million visitors. Dubai was in fourth. In the last 5 years, Bangkok held the first position 3 times and London twice.
When you think of it, that's a bunch of people coming in every single year. Millions. That's a lot.
But it's funny you said that. Did you know that we get millions of visitors here in Alaska?
I was shocked, but we bring in money from that.
It's one of the things that bring money here in Alaska. But I did not know that until about 7 years ago. Airbnb. And it was like, I said, how much? Millions of people come to Alaska during the summertime?
And some even in the winter, because I want to experience the winters here.
It's summer into winter, but I'm just, I was shocked at the number.
Yeah, the number is shocking.
In the double digits, you know?
Yes.
I was like,
and they spend money.
Listen, it's crazy.
It is.
But here, New York is on the list for number 5th place.
Yeah, 5th place.
That's crazy.
Our comparison, we might thereby deduce that London is more visitable than New York City. Let's find out why. First, we will take a look at the two cities' abridged history. We'll start with London as it's the elder. The city of London is old, but nowhere near as old as some cities in the Middle East, China, or other parts of Europe. You'll know from our show on the British and Roman empires that Britain was invaded by the Romans in 43 AD. They established the city of Londinium that at the time was about the size of a small village in England right now. When the Romans left Londinium, it was pretty much a ghost town, and for hundreds of years it remained so. Even the invading...
I didn't know that the Romans invaded London, the UK. I did not know that. Well, you did a video.
I'm trying to roll my head around this, but this don't seem like the video I watch because I don't remember this.
You saw another version of this similar?
Maybe. I don't want to lie on myself. Maybe I've heard it, or maybe I didn't. I'm not sure because I've done so many videos.
Oh, you have.
So, but that's
Vikings didn't do much with it, and it wasn't until the Normans invaded from France and subjugated the country that London became a powerful city. William the Conqueror made London the Norman stronghold, building the famous Tower of London. The Normans would be the last people to this day to successfully invade England. In medieval times, London grew in power and wealth, but that also included the spread of poverty, corruption, and greed among the upper echelons of society, and bouts of population-denuding plagues. It wasn't until 1850 that London became the largest city in the world in terms of population.
You see how crazy that is?
Mm-hmm.
It's always corruption, always seems to creep in.
Yep.
You ever notice that? With the highest class of people.
Yep.
The ones with the money. Always fighting for territory. Always underhanding somebody else to get something else.
Always.
But then look, it became the largest. With the most popular. That is crazy.
Sources say it was as early as 1825, though most scholars agree that London was the most populated city until the 1920s. Another city then took over right up until the 60s, and that was the city of New York. Long before New York City had high-rise buildings, it was the stomping ground of Algonquin natives who hunted and fished where people now trade stocks and eat pastrami sandwiches. It wasn't until 1624 that European settlers would start a community in the city when families of the Dutch West India Company made a home of Nutten Island. That's now known as Governor's Island and is between Manhattan and Brooklyn. Being Dutch, they called this place New Amsterdam. Some historians say that the Dutch bought the area from the natives for a few trinkets. The peace between the natives and the Euro expansionists didn't last, and the trouble ended with a lot more native casualties than Dutch casualties. New Amsterdam soon covered much of what we regard as New York City today, but the imperialistic Brits, guided by London prospectors, would soon burst the Dutch bubble. On August 26, 1664, 4 British frigates sailed to New Amsterdam and in a bloodless coup took control and renamed it New York after the Duke of York, not the city of York, in the north of England. At that time, the city had about 1,500 Europeans and 375 Africans, most of whom were slaves. It remained that way for over 100 years, and even when American independence was on the cards, New York City was a stronghold for British loyalists.
Can you imagine that? So it was mainly British people who inhabited New York.
Yep.
You notice that?
Yep.
And we were there too.
Yeah.
Blacks. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We were there. But the Indians, you see that?
They were here
because of the French. Wipe out the amount of casualties. And then British come and said, listen, we're going to set this straight. They took over. And they held it for a long time. Araya for you guys, Araya.
1783, the British were forced out, and in 1789, it became the first national capital of the US. Only in 1790 did the capital become Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Like London, the growing city had its fair share of growing pains, including great fires and huge loss of life due to yellow fever and cholera. Nonetheless, by 1850, the population was more than 550,000, and New York City had become a center of the world. So now we come to the present day. The population of London right now is thought to be about 8.7 million. This has spiked lately due to the arrival of ethnic minorities that make up about 44% of the city's population. London covers...
That's high! 44%! That's a lot. That's like more than, like almost more than half of the people from, like that's a lot! I know there's like a lot of Africans there, Jamaicans, I know that, but it was not known as like that much.
There's a lot of Indians there.
Indians too!
I think Arabic.
Oh, yes.
Because I've been seeing the news.
That is true.
It's a lot.
That's
though.
a lot. I was not expecting that.
It's more now because I'm not sure when this video was done, but it says It's over that
It's over
by
that.
now.
Mhm.
So can
Oh,
you
yeah.
imagine?
Imagine like over for maybe more than half already. 'Cause that's a lot.
That's a lot.
There's an area of 607 square miles, making it the biggest city in Europe. New York City has a population of 8.538 million, and it is mixed in terms of ethnicity. About 44% of residents are white Caucasian, 27% Hispanic, 25% Black or African American, with a much smaller mix of other ethnicities. The city
You see how it balances out in
balances
New
out.
York?
Yeah.
How crazy it is.
Mhm.
But in London, it's a split.
Mhm.
covers 304 square miles and is the biggest city in the USA, though considerably smaller than London. But with almost equal populations, this means New Yorkers have far less space. So what about the standard of living in these cities? They are both pivotal cities regarding the financial sector, though one website claims that London's financial sector is slightly bigger with 340,000 employees to New York's 322,000. As of March 2017, the Global Financial Centers Index puts London at the center of the world, with New York hot on its heels in the number 2 spot. New York has more billionaires, with 103 in 2017 according to Forbes, while London only has 72. London is said to have better job growth, though, over the last decade. For the average
I believe that they have better job growth.
Listen.
It's a struggle to get a job, especially in New York, given how expensive it is.
Oh, so look at the comparison
Mhm.
between the two. When you think about it, you'll be like, okay, the way New York is run, you'd think it is way advanced, or when the working sector would be way much more than what it is. I know this was done in 2017, and that's a little stretch, but I'm just saying, and I know they have more billionaires there now in the UK, but here in the US, they really have a lot of million and billionaires.
Yes, that is
It
true.
has grown, especially when that boom came in with this Bitcoin thing.
Oh yeah.
So I understand, but the quality of life in the UK beats
better.
New York quality of life.
Because here it's work, hustle. Capitalism. It's huge in America.
Yeah. So work-life balance is over here.
Yeah, like
on the London side.
Yeah.
On this side is prison work.
Mhm.
Work till you drop.
Yep.
So and you see how long they come from 2017 till now, and it's still the same.
Yeah, and I do want to add in also, we did a video on UK workers' rent, and that was amazing. Like, we were surprised to see what we found out, and we'll have that linked in the description below. But we were definitely surprised.
It's still unbelievable.
It is. It's
Things that are
crazy.
mandated. But guys, we don't want to digress, but
Yes.
it's something. It is.
Joe among us, how is life in these cities? Again, it depends on which source you read. The latest cost of living index by Expatizin puts New York as the 5th most expensive city to live in the world, and London in 12th, with food and housing in New York being more expensive, but clothes and transportation being cheaper. The Guardian reports that after Brexit, London got a lot cheaper, stating that the city has recently arrived at a newfound bargain basement status. In fact, according to the website Numbeo, that compares cost of prices around the world, the cities are fairly equal in terms of eating, going out, shopping, but just a bit more in New York. Renting in London is cheaper than New York if you're not renting high-end apartments, but actually buying a place is much more expensive in London on average. Travel is more expensive in London, where
That is interesting. It's cheaper to rent if it's not like in the very popular areas, but it's more expensive to purchase a home. It's still expensive both ways here in the US to purchase and to rent, so you don't really win. But I'm shocked to see that it's cheaper to rent there in such a big city compared to New York. It's also a big city.
Yeah, because the cost of buying it must be higher. People always say because people crave for the city life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So you're gonna sell your property for a high to make But funny the rental cost in New York for even a 1 bedroom or even a base.
Girl, we're talking about at least 3,000, 4,000.
You better run because it's crazy.
An arm and a leg.
It's not like back in the days when you're buying a house in New York. No, when you stop to buy a house in New York, you second guess yourself. Back in the day, you get that house for little and nothing. Because Yeah, we're not going to get into that detail, but I was just saying, yeah.
Whether you buy your own gas or use public transportation. Gas and electric is also more expensive in London, but internet is almost half the price of New York on average. Education is more expensive in New York, and it's thought that inner city London schools are a bit better than inner city New York schools.
Yeah.
The average wage in New York is $4,542 a month, while in London it is only $2,952 a month.
Look at the comparison between the wages.
Yes.
But yet still, life is better.
Yeah,
And
less
you
stress.
can-
On the UK
not even less stress. Your money still can stretch with 2,950. And guys, I know it's not in dollars. I know it's. But I'm just saying, look at the average wage in New York.
Because when I saw that 4,000, I'm like, that's someone's rent right there. That's rent money.
It's like hand to mouth.
Literally. Yes.
It's and when they talk about the schools, then they're right. And when they talk about college tuition, they are correct.
College
And
is expensive.
It is. There's so many things that are so expensive that you thought it would be less in New York. You'd be like, huh? What? Why? But yes, still a lot of people gravitate towards there.
It might sound bad for Londoners, but they do get free healthcare, lots of paid vacation, and in general, better workers' rights. Money aside, what about the general day-to-day creature comforts? Well, as London is much bigger, it also has more space. With that, you get more parks and more green spaces. At the same time, New York is easier to get around, and some people speaking on forums say a bit more fun, as it's compact, and unlike London, is more of a 24-hour city. If you are out
Yeah, that's true. New York is open 24/7. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m., midnight, 1, they are open.
That's true. I've lived it. I've lived it. And I'm not gonna lie, I love it. It's fast paced though.
Very
You have to keep up.
New Yorkers are different. They're like a different breed of humans.
Listen, it's like I said,
Cocky, fast
fast-paced,
paced.
they're rough.
Oh yeah.
You have to be
be
strong to handle. You just say tough to handle a New York life. If you're a little sim, I'm sorry, you're not gonna be.
Don't hurt me.
You're not gonna make it in New York. No, I'm serious.
You're tough. Yeah.
They don't play.
They don't play.
But
And
I
they
love
don't care,
it.
They're like, excuse you. Especially on those trains.
But I love it.
They're rude.
I love it.
Yeah.
The nightlife is amazing, like he said.
It has pros and cons.
Yeah.
Just like
So
everything in the world.
everywhere in the world, you have its pros and cons.
Out at night, London may have more crimes in terms of robberies and assaults, but New York has more murders. According to Numbeo, respondents to a survey said they felt similar.
What a comparison!
It's not like exactly what a comparison.
Guys, we're laughing at the comparison.
versus
Don't get it
murder,
wrong. It's
like-
not that. It's funny, and we're thinking, oh, this is kiki. That's not the point why we laugh. I'm like, because I'm
Just the comparison.
I'm like, look, what did she say? London outbeat with robbery and
There's
this.
assault,
And then he said,
murder.
I'm like, ain't no better.
It's not better. It's not.
It shouldn't happen overall.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. We had to. Because
Like,
I'm like, damn.
You're like messed up either way, basically. Like,
There's no plus in either.
no.
About safety in London and New York. It seems the difference is bigger crimes are more common in New York, but your chances of finding trouble on the street is more likely in London. We should, however, take this to those that have lived in both cities. According to one American man who did both for many years, he said on a forum thread that both cities were too expensive even when single. He loved the open, sprawling green spaces in London and at times didn't like the noisy, claustrophobic streets of New York. He did, however, like the fact that in New York you could sit down anywhere and find enjoyment, while London was too spread out for him at times. The writer agreed with the sites we cited already on costs of things, also the heavy workload in the US for most people, but did say in terms of meeting new people, socializing, or partying, New York is easier. One more thing he pointed out that we didn't mention yet was the weather, which is a deal breaker for some people. New York has colder winters and can have steaming hot summers, whereas London is cool, damp, and gray for much of the year, with some warm weeks in summer and only a moderately cold winter compared to New York. We'll end it there with the weather. Have you lived in or visited either of these two cities? If so, we
I've lived in one. I'm yet to visit my other place that's going to be home.
That is interesting.
Listen, we're laughing, guys, with the weather. We know it's a stereotype,
Yeah, it is
but,
a big stereotype, the weather.
but we can't help it. Every time they say anything to do with weather, with
Gloomy,
God. Don't let them come for you. You better stop.
It sounds like that. It's gloomy inside. Like it doesn't sound happy when they say. I'm like,
Listen, but they're not complaining. They love it.
oh, but I would love it too. I like the rain.
They
But some
love it.
sunshine when it's out, baby.
The
Sunshine.
sweetest time when the rain
Yes.
starts falling.
And it's so funny in New York. He said, unlike it's like very hot summers and very cold winters, like extreme.
Yeah,
on both ends.
it is. Because
Mhm.
now that I've lived here for so long, and when I go to New York in the summer, I'm like,
It's hot.
Lord, take me back to Alaska. And they be like,
And
that
imagine
cold
if
place?
she's Jamaican.
And I'm telling-
Imagine when she goes back home. She won't survive.
Because I'm so seasoned in.
Me too. I can't
Jeez.
go. Even Alaska gets hot too. And I'm like, this is too hot for me.
This is summertime. I'm like, and we're crying.
Yes. And it's in Alaska.
60 something. I went
60 is hot.
no. 50, lower 50s going up.
Yep.
Guys, we're crying.
Yes. It's that
The
bad.
people outside walking half naked.
People in their tank tops.
Listen,
It's hot.
it's crazy that we complain because 30s for us is not cold, guys.
No, it's not. It's
perfect.
It is. We sound crazy, but
I know.
it's perfect.
It's perfect
It's
weather.
not too hot,
Guys,
not too cold, just
guys.
right.
I'm wearing shorts right now.
She,
And the snow is so high outside.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going out. Slippers, shorts.
and she has this, what's it called, that vest that she wears? She calls out her jacket, her arms are out, just like this, bare out in the cold. She's like, oh, let me get my vest, so I'm like extra warm. It is the funniest thing, because she remembered that. She's like, give me my jacket. I was like, your jacket, I don't see it. Oh, that vest, mate. I was like, this thing, we're outside. Her arms are exposed. Like, this woman is
She
crazy.
cracks me up every time. She's like, that's not a jacket. I say,
No.
yep, it is mine. The chest part is
That is the most part. If here is warm, all of this
all
are
of me
warm.
just stay warm.
Yeah.
And I
And
can't
that
and
cracked me up.
I can't stay. I don't feel comfortable when I'm hot, guys. It's just the fact. I'm a seasoned Alaskan.
Well seasoned.
I'm seasoned. But listen, we're digressing because we're talking about weather. But he's right, especially when it comes on to the park. And I've seen so much about London. I keep saying London. London.
Mm-hmm.
I was a London, me I say, instead of London. That's why
London. London.
They have so many green areas.
That's the part I'm shocked by.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a video. Yeah,
so many green
they have a
areas.
lot of green spaces.
And then when I see New York, it's just a bunch of like
This big old
buildings.
central-
I know they
big-
have that one
Big
center.
that one big old central park. And
That's the
it.
one.
That's it.
That's all the green you
Prospect
see.
Park is not even that big, but Central Park, and that's it. So
Yeah, New York
yeah,
is city,
but the
city,
nightlife
city,
and
city.
everything else, yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
it's
But the
very
crime,
social.
the crime is on a
We're not
heavier
going to
side.
talk about
Yeah.
that.
But work-life balance here in the US compared to London is a no-go.
Yeah, no.
Pretty much overall. Said and done.
There's no balance.
We love you guys. We're running out of here. We chat till thy kingdom come. You realize
Thy kingdom come.
we chat.
Bye, guys.
Be good, be kind,
Yes.
love each other. We love you.
Yes.
Thank you for rocking with us with our craziness. We'll see you guys in another one. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Come in and check out Cynthia and Xavier. Come on, guys. Not doing that. Push the video places by sharing.
love.
And that's how the algorithm takes us, by hitting the like
Yes.
button. And that's your way of supporting us as well. We'll see you guys in another one. And oh yes, the P.O box is in the description below. Love you. Bye.
Bye.